Us for everyday people. 800%. That's what just popped into my head. I don't know why. Haven't heard that song in years. Like for real, legit. But for some reason, that just popped into my head. Woke up this morning, 2:15 a.m. That's right, you heard it here first, folks. 2:15 a.m. Woke up this morning, 2:15 a.m. Walked over, grabbed my bottle of water, threw on the headphones to listen to some music with no words, opened up my remarkable planner, opened it up to my morning five planner, I should say, opened up my remarkable tablet to my morning five planner, and there was a quote on the top, on the right hand side of the page, and it said, "Strength builds where comfort ends." Strength builds where comfort ends. As soon as I read this, I thought, oh my goodness, well good, because I'm building some strength. I'm building some strength on this trip right now, that's for sure. I am building some strength on this trip. I have not been able to get comfortable at all this trip. Sometimes being on the West Coast will do that for you when you have the opportunity to do a show at 5:30 a.m. Eastern time, but you happen to be in a different time zone, and that show becomes 3:30 and you need to wake up at 2:15, but you also got to do all the functions that you got to do in the time zone that you're in, including going to dinner and so on and so forth. I have been here since Father's Day. I added it up this morning. Drum roll, please. I have gotten exactly 9 hours. That's right, 9 hours of sleep since Father's Day. and it has been miles and 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 miles walking, being on my feet the entire time I've been here. From doing all of the East Coast meetings and so on and so forth to everything that's happening over on the West Coast. The days have been jam-packed from beginning to end, and my goodness, waking up this morning, it was uncomfortable, no doubt about it. But then I read this quote submitted by Tammy Peterman, "Strength builds where comfort ends," and I was reminded that, hey man, these uncomfortable choices that we make today ultimately build the muscles that are going to serve us well tomorrow. We're going to talk more about that here in just a minute. But thanks for being here. Super, super grateful you're here. If I haven't told you in a while, I absolutely stinking love you, man. I do. You give me so much purpose in my life. This show, this is episode, I think, 2012. This show has been transformative in so many ways. And it's only because you're here. I wouldn't do this if you weren't showing up on the other side. If you weren't tagging your friends and sharing and dropping likes and comments and all the engagement that you give me and have over the last 8 years. We've been doing this show for 8 years, if you can believe that. It makes an impact. Out here in Colorado, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me wanting to take pictures with me, so on and so forth, and have said, I used to watch your show, I do watch your show made an impact, your community's made an impact, my life is here now where it was there. Like, it's just amazing what you guys have done and allowed me to do through this show. And so I just want to say thank you. I'm glad you're here. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday. That's right, today is Wednesday, aka around here we call it CMA Day. That's right, Carter Myers Automotive Group, the most amazing automotive group on the planet, has owned Wednesdays here in this community for the last 7 years at least. So shout out to Carter Myers Automotive Group, all the amazing people over there that are part of this show every single day. But today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Denver, Colorado, where it is currently 3:30 a.m. Denver, Colorado, the home of the Rockies. Denver, Colorado, the home of the Broncos. That's right, the Broncos. Also the home of this year's NIADA event, National Independent Automobile Dealer Association event. If you don't know what that is, check this out.
Hello everybody, I'm Nick, I'm a car dealer from Utah, and I want to tell you about the upcoming convention coming in June, the 21st through the 24th. Huge announcement. It's someplace other than Vegas this year. It's in beautiful Denver at an exciting resort called the Goliath Rockies. I'll tell you, that convention is just where you go if you're a used car dealer. You get to meet up with all of your vendors. You get incredibly cool nuggets from fellow dealers. There's tons of dealer panels, and for me personally, hearing from people that are actually boots on the ground and getting advice from them is just huge for me. I bring my whole crew out to meet up with the vendors and everything. It's such an awesome way for all of us used car dealers to get together in one killer forum. I encourage you to come.
And I got to tell you, it's been a great event. I haven't been back out to NIADA. It's been like 3 years. I spoke here. I spoke for I was the keynote at NIADA about 3 years ago. But man, it's an awesome event. I mean, it is just an incredible group of the most amazing people. The workshops over the last few days have been incredible. The education that I've been able to pick up from that has been, just phenomenal, right? And phenomenal insights. I have gotten to meet and have conversations with some of the most amazing people. I mean, we're talking, these people are gritty, bro. That's the way to describe them. These people are gritty. I mean, I want you to think about what it takes, all right? Think about what it takes to run a used car independent dealership. Okay, now I know a lot of you are not in the car business, don't know much about the car business. There's two types. You've got franchise, which is Ford, Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ferrari, BMW. Those are all franchise dealerships. There's a manufacturer that is backing you, supporting you, guiding you, so on and so forth. And then there's independent dealerships, no franchise attached. An independent dealership, when you're driving down the street, it might say Joe Schmo's Used Cars. That's an independent dealership. And an independent dealership could be some little tiny lot in a tiny town that sells 6 cars a month, or it could be a huge place like Jerry Hunt Supercenter that sells 800 used cars a month, or anything in between. But it's such a different dynamic. The independent dealers would be defined as gritty. I want you to write that word in the comments if you're in a position. Now, I know some of you are working out right now, can't do that. Some of you are driving right now, that's okay too. But for those of you that are watching the show, you're on the screen, you're in YouTube, you're on Facebook, not listening on the podcast, can't do it there, but just write the word gritty. Can you put the word gritty down in the comments real quick? Because this is an important word. And these dealers, they're gritty, dude. I mean, if you think about what it takes for them to put these things together, right? My friend Amanda Gordon, she's here in this picture. She's gritty. That is the way to explain this lady. Because see, with a used car dealership, what's up, Alex Perry? Great to see you. Trisha Rue, great to see you as well. Bill Harrison's like, yep, gritty, let's go. So, like, the way it kind of works is in the independent world, you start with one car. Like you find a way to buy one car and then you turn around and you sell that one car and you try to make a profit. And then you try to leverage that profit that you made from that one transaction and you go from one car and you try to find a way to go to two cars. And then from two cars to three, and from three to five, five to seven, and so on and so forth, right? But each time, like another and another and another, like there's no real, like there's not this huge like manufacturer to maybe support you, to deliver units to you, to give you a credit line, to allow you to have cars that you can sell before you have to pay for them. No, it's not like that, right? Like you just have to literally bootstrap from one car to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And questions come up as you're going through this bootstrap process, right? Like, where do I get more money so that I can get more cars? How do I hire some people? When can I hire people? How do I afford to hire people, right? Like, I got to get a facility because I went from a tiny little corner in my backyard selling cars to now I have to rent a facility, and then I got to get certain licenses, and then there's taxes, and then what if those cars break down? What if I sell somebody a car and then it breaks down, and then I got to take care of it, right? Because the car broke down 2 days after I sold it to them, and the engine blew on it because it's a used car, and sometimes those things happen, and now I've got a big bill of $8,000 when I'm just a guy who's making $1,000 every time I flip one of these cars, $2,000, $3,000, whatever the number is. So there's like a ton of pressure, right? And then there's additional pressure because the value of the product you're selling, I want you to think about this. Put yourself in these people's shoes for just a second. The value of the product that you are selling is always changing and in most cases going down. Right? So you bought a car for $15,000, you're hoping to sell it for $18,000, but every day that it's sitting on your lot, the value of that car is going down, going down, going down. It's like watching a clock timer just tick, 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 and every single second until you sell that thing, dude, it's just depreciate, 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 depreciate. You're literally losing money, right? So you made the investment in the building, you made the investment in the car, you made the investment in the facility, you made the investment in hiring people. You made the investment, dude, and every single day you're just watching your money just freaking go out the window, 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 go out the window. And these places, these independent places, it's usually really lean, not a bunch of staff. The person at the top is not just bootstrapped and figured out how to go from one car to two cars and two cars to three cars and three cars to five cars, but that person is also the accountant. That person is also handling the marketing strategy for the entire place. That person is also trying to figure out the logistics of how to get car. If I buy a car from an auction over here, how do I get that car over to here? That person is also closing deals, having conversations, figuring out on how to arrange financing for you and for me. I mean, it is gritty, bro. It is gritty. And I guarantee you there are so many days that these dealers at this particular event, they're looking in the mirror when they just got freaking slammed with another freaking engine repair that they had to take care of, with a freaking bad Google review, somebody's trying to blast their business, with getting sued by an ex-employee that they fired because the employee was freaking lazy and wouldn't do the job and wouldn't show up, and they freaking fired him, and now they're like, holy crap, what is going on here? Right? I guarantee you there are so many days where these people are like, why me, bro? Why me? Why am I freaking having to deal with this right now, man? Like on top of everything else that is going on in my life? Are you kidding me? You're gonna throw this at me too? You're going to throw a sickness at me too? You're going to throw an illness at me too? You're going to throw that one person that I invested in, that I did hire, that I've done everything for? That person's going to walk on me? That person's going to quit on me? Are you kidding me? I guarantee you, man. I guarantee you these dealers have so many moments where they say, why me? And what's interesting is yet they're so freaking gritty that they just choose to show up again the next day. They take the punch and they show up again the next day. It's like, why me? But yet then they show up again the next day and the next day and the next day. And it's interesting. They continue to choose to show up even when it freaking hurts. And that to me is interesting and something I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the choices you and I make on the backside of some of these why me's that we be complaining about. That's right, we're going to talk about it. You might not like it today. But that's not my job. My job is not to make sure you like what I have to say. My name is Glenn and I'm your friend, and my job is to tell you the truth. But listen, before we go too far today, here's what we need to do. We need to do some dancing on the show. We need to get our bodies in motion. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest. All right? So if you're at rest right now or have been at rest, I need you to get into motion. If you're working out right now, I want you to pick up the pace. I want you to pick up the weight. Maybe you're on a run. I want you to pick up the speed, right? If you're in the car right now, just do some dancing in the car. Get moving. Maybe you're in a cubicle. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you're with the kids. I don't care where you are. Get your body in motion. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes you, to hit that share button. Last but not least, this is the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I will say what's up back. Good morning, Debbie, darling, Walla. Thank you so much for being here. Craig Harry is in the building. What's up, Craig? Thanks for being here. Kurt McFarland's like, hey, man, brah. Thanks for being here, Kurt. Greg Becker is in the building. Trisha Rue, good morning to you. Alexander Perry, you have to keep showing up. Someone's relying on you. Amen to that. Tina Hope is in the building. Thanks for being here. Young and Johnson, what up, what up? Pastor Jeff is in the building. Christina Howard is in the building. Spencer Nicholson, good morning, good morning, good morning. Ramon Ray, good morning, Ramon. Great to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. Roddy Rock Hatfield, good morning. Paul Brindley, good morning. Bella Rigby, good morning. Scott Simons in the building, good morning. Victor Montoya, good morning. Patricia Frudenberg, thank you for being here this morning. I greatly appreciate you. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate how you choose to invest this time with me, and I just want to take a second, A, to say thank you, and B, to apologize for what I'm about to say to you next. Because when it comes to these words, why me, you and I got to dig in just a little bit. All right, we've been in this series this week. The series this week has been called Why Me? And if you remember, earlier in the week, we talked about responsibility. On Monday, we talked a lot about responsibility. Yesterday, we went a little further and we started talking about David and Goliath. You guys remember that? We talked about David and Goliath. We talked about some of the scriptures from the best-selling book of all time and how sometimes the giants in our lives aren't there to destroy us, but they're there to reveal us, right? To reveal our true destiny. And today's episode might sting just a little bit if I'm being honest. It might sting just a bit but here's the thing, right? Like sometimes the truth is supposed to sting. Can we at least agree on that? Can we agree that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the truth is supposed to sting to like really make sure that it gets our attention. Do you agree? Do you agree? Like it's the only way it's going to get our attention is if it stings just a little bit. Amen? Can I get an amen? Do me a favor too. If there's people that you know should be here this morning, go ahead and tag them. Help people find this show. Facebook doesn't do us any favors. But sometimes the truth is supposed to sting because today I want to suggest something that completely changed my life and hopefully will be impactful in yours. And here it is. What if The answer to your question, why me? All right, I want to go ahead and think about maybe a why me in your life. You know, like one recent where you're like, why me? What if the answer to why me is because you chose this? What if that's the answer? Because you chose this. Why me? Because you chose this. Now wait just a second, all right? I want you to hear me out. Before you get upset, all right? Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I do understand. I'm not saying that every bad thing that happens to you is your fault. I'm not saying that. There are things in life that just happen that we never asked for, right? There are times where people betray us, where businesses fail, where loved ones get sick, where tragedy strikes, right? There are things that happen in our life that are out of our control. But here's what I have learned. Even when we don't choose the circumstance, we always, and you've heard it before, but we always choose the response. Even though we don't choose the circumstance, we always choose the response. And most of the life that you are living right now, most of the life that I am living right now is the result of thousands of choices that we've made over the years. The choices compound. The choices compound. The choices compound. So today, what we're walking into today, our existence today, our experience today is a result of thousands of choices to how we respond that have added up. True? So listen, the mirror that we're going to look into today does not lie. It will not lie to you. And so I want you to think this morning, I want you to think about how often we ask, why me? Like when we ask, why am I so unhealthy? Why am I out of shape? Why am I broke? Why is my marriage struggling? Why am I stuck in this job that I hate? Why am I so stressed all the time? Why am I exhausted? And sometimes, not always, but sometimes the answer to that question is staring back at us in the mirror. Because the answer to that why me or why am I experiencing this might be that you chose the extra hour of sleep instead of choosing to go to the gym. Oh shoot. Oh, wait. Glenn, hold on. Glenn, you're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, Glenn. Let's not go there. I need my 9 hours, Glenn. I need my 8 hours. I need my 7. I know that you, Glenn, I know that you have only slept 9 hours since Sunday. But me, Glenn, I'm wired different. I have to get my 9 hours every day, bro. Like I just can't function without it. I have to have my 8 hours of sleep, and then I have to have my coffee. And you don't understand, Glenn, like I have my kids. I have to take care of my kids. I have to make sure to get their breakfast. And I don't have anybody helping me, Glenn. I don't have anybody helping me. It's just me. I got to do it all myself. Maybe, just maybe, if we're being honest this morning, maybe the reason you feel the way you feel is because you chose to sleep that extra hour today versus working out. Maybe the reason when you look in the mirror you don't like what you see is because you're getting too much beauty sleep and not doing enough booty work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you've been choosing comfort over growth every single day. Maybe you're choosing to watch Netflix over reading a book that could put you in another place. Maybe you're choosing to scroll versus choosing to learn AI or the technology opportunities that you have today. Maybe you're choosing to avoid having those hard conversations. Maybe you're choosing to postpone writing that book or doing that thing or fulfilling that dream. What's up, Joel Curto? Thanks for being here. What's up, Paul Brindley? Maybe you're choosing to stay where it's safe, not where it's uncomfortable. And then years later, you look at the results and you ask yourself, well, why me? Tony. Then you ask yourself, why me? No. I got a better question for you today. Instead of saying, why me? I want you to ask yourself this question. You ready? What choices did you make that got you here today? And here's the reason this is important, because if those choices that you've made got you where you are today, then that means the choices you make going forward can get you somewhere else. You see, you have to understand, David didn't just beat Goliath, all right? Let's look at the David and Goliath story one more time. David didn't just show up all of a sudden one day and beat Goliath. Now, if you remember the whole story, right? Goliath's down there for 40 days talking trash. Thousands of soldiers are around. Nobody steps up. Not the big guys, not the brothers, not King Saul. Nobody steps up. David shows up with a freaking slingshot. He's like, what the hell are you guys doing? He's like, why do I have to do this? Why me? Ultimately, boom, throws the rock, knocks homeboy out, becomes the king, legacy freaking cemented, right? But listen, David didn't just beat Goliath. Let's go back for just a minute, right? Because people love the Goliath story, but here's what most people miss in the Goliath story. David didn't wake up one morning and magically become the giant killer. No. Long before the giant ever showed up, David made choices. Like he chose to tend to his sheep every single day, even if that meant he had to lose a little sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty confident that David wasn't sitting around going, I gotta get my 8 hours, and I understand that one sheep over there is probably in danger. He's in danger of falling off a cliff, but you know what? I gotta make sure to get my beauty rest. No, he was on high alert all the time. He tended to the sheep every single day. You see, David chose discipline every single day. He also chose to have faith. He knew that there was something bigger behind what he had going on. So David chose faith every single day. David chose preparation every single day. You think he just knew how to throw that stone? No, he'd practiced throwing them stones. He'd use that slingshot to throw them stones. You don't just hit the dang giant right between the eyes the first time you ever throw the stone. He'd been practicing with that slingshot over and over and over and over and over and over. So when Goliath did show up, when everybody else just saw a giant, David saw the opportunity he'd been preparing for his entire life, bro. The battle was not won with that one stone. The battle was won through thousands of choices made before anyone ever knew David's name. Now listen, dude, there's been so many times in my life when I asked why me constantly. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why am I homeless? Why me? Why am I the one who gets arrested? I got friends who do make bad choices. They never get arrested. Why me? Is it because I'm black? Because my skin is darker than this? Like, why is my life falling apart? Why does everybody else seem to have it figured out? And then one day I made a realization and it changed everything in my life. I realized that while I had not chosen every circumstance in my life, I had made thousands of choices that led me to where I was. Choices like the people I surround myself with, the habits I repeat, the decisions I made, the responsibilities I avoided, the standards I accepted. And here's the beautiful part. The same thing that got me there is the same thing that got me out. Choices. You choose. One better choice. One better choice, just like getting that one car that the independent dealer has to get. And then another choice, like getting that second car. And then another, like getting that third car. And then one day I chose to be more responsible. And then one day I chose to have faith and believe in the God of the universe. And then one day I chose to start writing down my gratitudes every single day. And then one day I chose to stop blaming other people for my circumstances. And then one day I chose to start getting up earlier and earlier and earlier. And so making sure I get up earlier than basically everybody on this dang call. I take a lot of pride in that. And one day I chose to serve other people before I served myself. And one day I chose to become the man that I wanted to be. And those choices have compounded, because that's what life does. Life compounds. You do not become unhealthy overnight, my friend. You do not become wealthy overnight, my friend. You do not build an incredible marriage overnight, my friend. You do not become a great leader overnight, my friend. Everything compounds. Every day you're casting votes. A vote for who you're becoming, a vote for your future, a vote for your habits, a vote for your character, a vote for your legacy, and eventually the votes become the results. So let's get away from this dangerous lie. Can I tell you this? Can I tell you the most dangerous lie in the world before we go off into all of our things that we have to do today? Let me tell you the most dangerous lie in the world. The most dangerous lie in the world is this: one day. Anytime you say one day I'm going to do that, that's the most dangerous lie. One day I'll get healthy. One day I'll start the business. One day I'll fix the relationship. One day I'll start saving money. One day I'll become disciplined. One day I'll chase my dream. The problem is one day turns into 1 year, which turns into 5 years, which turns into 10 years. And suddenly you're looking at your life and you're going, why me? Why me? Because you have to understand that your today and your tomorrow is not built today or tomorrow. It was built by the decisions you made yesterday. And tomorrow's yesterday will be built by the decisions you make today. So if you're asking why me today, maybe that's not the question. Maybe the question you should ask is, what choice do I need to make next? Not next year, not next month, not Monday, not January 1st. No, today, this morning, right now. What's the next choice? The phone call you need to make, the apology you need to make, the workout you need to go do, the application you need to fill out, the budget you need to start right now, the prayers you need to make, the act of forgiveness, the difficult conversation. What's the next choice? Because the future, your future, is hiding inside the choices you make today. So listen, I want to leave you with this thought. Your life is not determined by the circumstances you're handed. Your life is determined by the choices you make with the circumstances you are handed. And that's the best news you'll hear all day today. Because if someone else was responsible for your future, you'd be powerless. But they are not. You are. Child of God, God of the universe, God who made everything. The power in you. You choose. Your next chapter isn't on luck. Your next chapter isn't some door that has to be opened. No, it's waiting on you to make a decision and to stop asking, why me? And to start asking, what choice do I need to make next? The moment your choices change, your life changes. Listen, my name is Glenn and I'm your friend, and maybe the truth I gave you today stung just a little bit. But if it did, I can't beg you enough. Lean into that sting. Lean into that thing that makes you uncomfortable, because just like the quote in the Morning 5 Planner today said, strength builds where your comfort ends. So if you're uncomfortable right now, can I get an amen and a hallelujah? It's time for you to get strong. Listen, I love you. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an amazing, incredible, over-the-top, spectacular day. Peace.
Let's go. It's 5:30 a.m. and the world's awake. Glenn Lundy in the house, no time to break. Husband to one, father to nine. This is the anthem, this is the grind. Let's go. Rise and grind every single day. 5:30 in the morning, Glenn's leading the way. Husband to one, father to nine. Host of the show, man, it's time to shine. Rise and grind, keep the fire alive. Motivation daily, we all gon' thrive. From the stage to the mic, he's one of a kind. This is the anthem, rise and grind. Before the sunrise, he's sparking the flame. Millions inspired, remember the name. Faith, family, future, he's leading with love. Dropping daily wisdom that